The greatest genocide in modern times after World War II in Europe.
They committed the worst single atrocity seen in Europe since the Second World War.
You probably haven't heard about. Now, what do all these have in common? They were practicing Orthodox Christians. But do we blame Christianity for these evil lunatics? No.
Bosnian Muslim men and boys were selected for murder, not only on account of their Muslim faith, but also because of their gender.
And Bosnian people never thought that Yugoslavian army will commit these crimes that they did. They believed in their army and they supported the army, and people served in the army, and they were proud to serve the army. So they never thought, never imagined that this army will commit the crimes that this army did.
The women suffered a different fate. Srebrenica was the culmination of a brutal campaign of ethnic cleansing across Bosnia-Herzegovina, in which 20,000 to 50,000 women and girls were victims of genocidal rape.
Wise and within the last year before conflict broke in Bosnia, they took around and they took all the weapons from people that they had, so they basically ended up with no weapons except some hunting guns and some little pistols and things like that.
Fighting this, where Prophet Muhammad said this stinks, this nationalism, right? And this extreme version of it that actually led them to go ahead and commit this genocide, to want to wipe the whole Muslim Bosnian community off the map.
They made plans and they organized this genocide in Bosnia, and their main thing was to eliminate Muslims from certain areas in Bosnia, especially in eastern Bosnia.
Never forget Srebrenica, is that what it is? Yes, where over 8,000 people died, and they were supposed to be safe by the peacekeepers. The UN was there, but right under their watch, all these 8,000 plus innocent human beings were systematically massacred. Is that right?
And in July that year, they committed the worst single atrocity seen in Europe since the Second World War.
The Greek Orthodox Church described him as, quote, one of the most prominent sons of our Lord Jesus Christ working for peace.
But you never really hear, have you heard, you don't hear much connection back in the media or through any of the news reports saying that these were radical Christians. It's kind of like what you do as soon as someone's a Muslim, Islam is on the witness stand. It's a showcase, like this is Islam motivating them and whatnot. But you don't. Have you heard that ever? The contrast being made?
No, I never heard Christian terrorists. It is usually Islamic or Muslim terrorists, and first of all, there is no Islamic terrorism or Islamic terrorism, because Islam does not teach terrorism. It teaches peace and coexistence and tolerance.
Because obviously, if we're going to play that game, they were practicing a form of radical Christianity, but we don't blame Christianity, right? This is as radical, because you have footage right now. People are seeing, they're in the church, right? With the priest sitting, and this is like a crusade. This was like almost, one can say this was a modern day holy. What people they would say, there's no such thing as a holy war, but to these people, this was a holy war to exterminate Muslims.
These people know, man. They were being unprovoked, and they were doing crimes and trying to eliminate Muslims from most of the parts of the Bosnia.
He worshiped.
Muslims are not, Jesus is not worshiping himself. Now he was teaching his followers to worship God who created him.
Yeah. Revisiting this history so we can prevent, God willing, through awareness, something tragic like this, some evil like this happening again.
This is the danger.